Well, hello.
All right. How is everybody doing?
Good. What's up, Bliss?
Not much, dude. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty good race. I think the difference in PBs here is about 5 minutes. But with races, you never really know. I mean, if Lando just has terrible RNG and Crazy Eight goes ham, maybe Crazy Eight could win.
Yeah, it is. Anything's possible in these tournament matches, and that's what's exciting.
It looks like we're getting
Huh?
started.
And we're off.
Thankfully, the desync is only about 2 seconds right now, so hopefully that'll get fixed soon.
Yeah, it should be.
Honestly, candle times determines the whole race, though. So
Yeah.
not a 14. Lando's gonna lose. Not a, oh, never mind.
That's it. GG's. Bad candles. So yeah, for those of you who are new here, this is Area 1. Pretty lax in comparison to the rest of the areas, but some quick doubles we can get in these first couple rooms, and then we got 2 portrait ghosts, and then we're on to Chauncey, the first area boss.
So while we're getting started and getting through some of the easier rooms that have less complex strats, go ahead and throw out some housekeeping things. So you'll see that Lando is playing in JP, or Japanese, and Crazy Eight's in English. So there is about a 25-second difference because of that. So Lando does already have a little bit of an advantage, but Crazy Eight will have a faster Area 1, possibly, because of that. And that's solely based off of text, and there's 1 or 2 JP exclusive text skips that we're going to see in the game.
Yeah, pretty much the real major differences for this category, at least. There are some other differences, but mainly for other categories.
Yeah, Lando's doing his first double setup. That was missed it. Ooh, but Crazy Eight also gets hit. At least he gets the double though. The second one's probably a little bit easier, in my opinion. I feel like less people struggle with it. They're actually pretty much in sync right now.
Yeah, doing pretty good. Now, Wardrobe Room is a room that, even if you're doing it good, there's still some slight differences that make it faster, like instantly sucking up the ghosts there, like just kind of instantly popping the flashlight, sucking it up. You'd be surprised at how much time it can save.
Lando's missed a couple doubles already, man.
Dang, sheesh.
Sheesh. Not the best drag of that key. You can actually, if you time it correctly, you can drag that key all the way to the door before you actually grab it, and that saves you a little bit of time.
I actually just learned the visual cue for that key, and it's helped me tremendously do that drag much more consistently.
Yeah, some people like to count, others just look at it and be like, okay, it's facing to the right, let's go.
Oh wow, yeah, that English text was much quicker.
Speed, dude.
Yeah.
Ka-chow. So this is the first portrait ghost. His name's Neville. Basically, for each portrait ghost, you just need them to show their heart before you can catch them. And his little trick is that you don't look at him, and when he yawns, you can catch him.
Pretty easy first portrait ghost, which is game trying to train you how to get these ghosts to show their heart.
Yeah, so there's basically the first 3 ghosts are like a little family. So he's going on, or they're both going on to the second ghost, which is the mom, Lydia.
And this is also one of the laggiest rooms in the game because, as you can see behind the window there, Toad's face is there, like Toad's there, so it's loading 2 rooms at once, so the game kind of has some trouble, but both runners not having too much issue with it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an RNG factor to it as well, because if the lightning strikes, it makes the lag much worse. You might not notice it at first, but it can really have an effect in the room.
Wow, they're almost perfectly synced up frame-wise.
Yeah, let's see who has got a faster ball strat. It looks like Lando's got a little bit more distance on him. Clean from both of them, nice. So Chauncey is the first boss of the game. He's really interesting because he's the only boss in the game that no one has discovered a way to get him in one suck up. So you'll see that after somewhere between 50 and 60 HP, they're going to let go so that he doesn't throw a third set of rocking horses at you. And that actually saves you probably about 4 or 5 seconds, if I had to say off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's definitely an avoidable time loss you want to keep track of, but if you do mess up, it's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. I'd compare it to a 2-cycle Bogmire, like 5 to 7 seconds, depending on how it goes.
Yeah. Also, something to note that from the best Chauncey I've ever seen, I think once he gets down to 6 HP, he insta breaks off. So, still yet to discover a way to catch him in one go.
Both runners getting their Crazy 8 taken to Chauncey to 49, so we will see that extra Rocking Horse cycle for Crazy 8.
That's just the English Area 1 handicap.
Yeah, he just,
It just makes it even.
Gotta give Lando a little bit of a break there, But yeah, now we'll see. He'll throw a third set of Rocking Horses instead of 2, but not too much of a time loss.
It actually went left-right, too. And he doesn't hit either. It's probably going to hurt him. You do need iframes to catch the second ball so it doesn't hit you. So you'll see that he gets hit there instead of being able to catch it. That's going to give Lando a pretty solid start. 604 key and 610. Not bad. So after you finish catching these first few ghosts, you need to go back to the lab, and you're going to do this after every area. And Egad's going to be like, give me the ghosts. And he puts them through his machine and turns them back into paintings.
That's true, yeah. Egad cannot wait to get his paintings back that were stolen by King Boo. Cannot wait. Makes Luigi do his dirty work because he says as himself he's not fit to capture these ghosts anymore.
He might not be fit, but his Naruto run is strong, dude.
Yes.
Look at him go.
Now that is speedrunning, literally.
So after you beat Chauncey, they get the Area 2 key that unlocks the next door, and you're able to go into the hallways of the mansion. And we're about to go into to one really hard room. They're going to go to the bathroom and get a key. And then after that, they're going to go to the ballroom. And the ballroom is very complicated because there's 3 sets of doubles that you need to get. And there's some pretty precise movement you need to get to make sure that they spawn at the correct time. And so that they don't line up the wrong way, that you accidentally pull off the masks of the Shy Guys. Because you have to get the masks off before you can actually catch these ghosts.
Yeah, and then after those doubles, we'll see our first true RNG moment of the game with the portrait ghosts. They can either show their heart early or late. We call it early release or late release, and it is completely RNG. So,
As far as we know, yeah.
As far as we know.
I like to believe there's a manip out there, but nothing yet.
It'll come when the Chauncey 1 cycle comes.
And you'll see that Lando, as he walks through the hallways, he's keeping his flashlight up, and that's stopping ghosts from spawning. And that he would get scared, and that would take about a second off of his time.
So we'll see how these runners do here. They're both in the ballroom now.
Really clean doubles so far from Lando. Beautiful.
Beautiful double from Lando.
Crazy 8 missing one of his doubles. It's going to hurt him a little bit. I think missing a double is about 7-8 seconds if they despawn. Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't go for a triple there. He might have been able to figure that out.
And Lando does not pass the ER vibe check.
He got ER skip, dude. Don't worry about it. So there is a 10-second difference. We'll see if Crazy 8 can get ER here. Yep, he gets it. Nice.
Closing that gap, much needed for Crazy 8 in this early game.
He managed to somehow get himself close to the chest, but I'm pretty sure he circled the Lazy Susan dance floor twice.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a wonky suck up for him, but hey, still an early release. We'll take it.
So you'll see Lando now going for this skip called Poster Skip. Behind that wall, there's a poster that you pull off while fighting these ghosts, and it saves you about 4 or 5 seconds to go ahead and get it off the wall now. I have never seen that double setup. That was cool. And this skip was actually discovered more recently, right? It's not super old from what I remember.
I'm not too sure on the origins of it, but definitely is implemented in almost every run now. It is a very easy strat that saves you a decent chunk of time, so might as well get it.
Yeah. So Luigi now has freed the boos, and you have to go through the game, and there are 50 of them that you can catch. So you're going to see that they're going to start going back through some old rooms, getting those boos. You only need 40 in this category, or in general, to go fight the final boss. So they're only going to get 40, and there's a route of which boos to get and which boos not to get. Some boos have higher HP, so it can make it pretty hard.
And I don't know if Lando will be going for Breaker Boo. I'm not sure if that's something that he actively does in his runs, depending on paces, but I guess we'll see later in the run.
I think he goes for it if he's behind, but at least that's what I think is going to happen in this race. I would say he's pretty consistent with it. I've seen him play a little bit, so he'll probably get it.
Now another RNG moment. Will we be able to see tech skips?
So this is the first tech skip of the game they're going to try to get. Lando does get it. If the boo's in the table, you can't get it. So basically you pull off... Ooh. I think the nerve got to him there. Basically you want to pull the tablecloth halfway and then get the boo after... get the boo and then get the cloth after, which allows the game to register that the last thing that happened was you got a tablecloth and not the boo, so it doesn't actually get the text. Neither of them are going to be able to get it. That's okay.
Yeah. Saves about 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Pretty good time save, but it's out of your control whether you get it or not, so... Lando making quick work of these boos.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think anything sub 12 minutes on the warp in a race is typically pretty good, considering most people don't play as well in races as they would normally.
Yeah. And this is a very RNG heavy segment. So getting a good split can be pretty difficult since it's really up to the boo RNG and their placement and the tech skip, as Bliss was explaining earlier.
Yeah, you can read the boo radar to find out where the boo is. It's harder in some rooms, but you can do it pretty consistently in the rooms that it matters. So Lando is going to get one more boo, and then he's going to head towards the room that mysteriously unlocks after you catch your 5th boo.
Occupied before, but after you get 5 boos magically, no longer occupied.
Yep.
Looking like not too bad a pace for Lando here. Sub 13. That's usually the gauge I use. And he did not get ER, so sub 13 with no ER is not too bad.
Yeah, it's really solid, actually. So it would be good to go ahead and explain the strat they're using on the boos. It's called R pumping. So essentially, a boo will cackle 15 times, and after the 15th cackle, they will the room as quickly as possible. So on each boo, you pump the R trigger, which pulls away the vacuum and puts it back on them every 10 HP, which is the optimal amount to do it at, and they'll cackle, which makes them stay in place. So we use R pumping to make sure that we can maneuver the boo and keep them where we want them to be.
Exactly, and another very important thing about R pumping is you need to be holding both L and R at the same time. So the reason why the strat works is when you're holding both of them and you let go of R, Luigi is still holding out his vacuum because you're holding L, so he doesn't have to do that animation of him re-rigging out the vacuum, and that's what's basically able to make you pump the boo.
Yeah, and you see in this room that they're going to get purposely grabbed. Lando completed 2 doubles there. And you'll see Crazy 8 do that in just a moment. And they're doing that so that they can maneuver the ghosts to where they want them to be for them to get the double. So I'd say this is one of the first major skips in the game, Fire Medallion skip. Basically, you're going to catch that boo and then grab the Fire Medallion just as if you were getting a text skip with a cloth. What that does is it triggers the boo text to come up first, and then after the boo text, you can save, and the game has already registered that you grabbed the Fire Medallion so that you can quit out of the game and enter the game, and it saves you about 8 seconds doing that skip.
Looks like Crazy 8 had a little bit of trouble there with that final double.
Yeah, this boo might leave on him.
This room, honestly, can be quite tricky. It can be quite trolly.
Tracy ended up still getting it. It would be really bad if that boo left on him.
Yeah, it's about a 30-second time loss, because you have to wait until Area 3 to get it, and by then the boo is fully reset, so...
Yeah, so now we're entering Butler Cycle, which is basically you light the Butler's candles, and he's going to start running down the hallway, freaking out, and you have to go through one room and complete this room before the Butler gets to his chair, where he puts out his fire. So you're going to see a series of ghosts, and he's going to grab this hat, and open a chest before he goes to the next room, where he has to also scan an object before he can get the Butler. So it's a really big press for time in the run.
What I'd really like to know is, if he's a Butler and he's so afraid of fire, why is he carrying a candlestick then? Like, I don't know. Just don't carry it, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the significance is of that. There's probably some deep symbolism.
A lot of this game is left up to your own interpretation. Whether Nintendo intentionally did that or not is undetermined. We don't know.
So super clean Butler Cycle from Lando. Let's see if Crazy 8 can hold up. This boo can be a pain to get because the pearls can really mess you up.
Lando's onto Hidden Room here. One of the harder rooms in the game, I'd say.
Oof, he did not. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, what he nailed there, yeah.
It's gonna work out for him.
It's a tight room. It is a tricky room, I'd say.
That's gonna help Crazy 8.
Ooh, and Crazy 8 got sniped by the mouse, which actually prevents you from, even if you scan it before you get hit, you can't scan the mouse hole during that animation.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've learned that over my time playing it. It's honestly really annoying.
They're gonna go for another tech skip. You've seen Lando do it twice now, but basically you're gonna catch this boo as you go through the mouse hole, and that'll skip the boo text of the mouse hole. Or the mouse hole will skip it. Sorry.
Ooh, poison mushroom for Lando.
Looks like it'll stay.
Don't come near! Don't come near! Oh, he's good.
Let's see how Crazy 8's Hidden Room goes compared to Lando. See, I was surprised that Lando didn't burn off the elemental barrier on the first ghost. Wow, nice.
Crazy 8 getting the fast quad. Good for him. That'll save him quite a bit of time.
And good boo RNG. So now Lando's going on to the fan favorite ghost, Melody. She's going to play a song, and he has to guess what it is, basically. There's only 2 options for the song, so the water theme from Mario or Super Mario Bros. 3 theme. And she played Water, which is the better song.
Cheers, Melody. Everyone hydrate.
Did he get that? He got it! Let's go, dude!
Wow, Crazy 8 got the laundry room text skip. That is a very difficult text skip to get.
That's super surprising. That's definitely one of the harder text skips to hit in the run. It only saves you probably like 4 or 5 seconds, but it's really cool if you can hit it.
That is definitely good for a Crazy 8, man. He is having a good segment right here.
Maybe he'll go for Breaker Boo, you never know.
Maybe! He might be feeling himself, you know?
Alright, so now Lando's going to go down to the kitchen after completing Melody, and he's got 2 more portrait ghosts, and you'll see him skip the first optional portrait ghost, which is Mr. Lugs. He might light the candles just for fun, but who knows. He's not gonna light the candles, dang dude. I really hope we at least get a Biff punch.
Lando is straight business. No funny business.
And they're gonna get their second elemental medal here, so now they can use the power of water. Basically, Luigi is the Avatar.
Basically. You know what? That's a very good point, Bliss. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, Luigi is Avatar Aang. He has the power of the vacuum already, and then he gains the other elements. I mean, ice might not be, one of the elements, but that's okay.
But you know what? We'll make an exception. It's okay. Luigi is in his own world, you know?
So not the best Boo RNG from Lando over here, but he is going to do it pretty well, drag, and get the Boo closer to the door where he needs him. Boo dragging is one of the more advanced techniques. It takes a good bit of practice to really get it down.
Now we'll see here with the dog Spooky. Lando is going to intentionally miss getting hit 2 times, and then on the 3rd time get hit because it'll reset Spooky's walk cycle. And if you time it right, you can get a very quick release on Spooky, and he gets it. Lando gets it just like that. Pretty good from Lando. We'll see how Crazy 8's next segment is.
Looks like he has good Boo RNG. I didn't see if it moved or not, but it looks like he's got it. Nice.
And he's going for the tech skip.
He's going for the tech skip?
He tried to set it up. I don't know if he got it.
I don't think he did. Yeah.
He tried to. He pulled it off a little, but not enough.
I don't know how much you're supposed to pull that off.
Now we'll see Lando is just starting Bogmire, who is the Area 2 boss. He has a reputation for being a little slippery sometimes. He's very easy to one cycle, but also very easy to not one cycle. It really depends on how you react to his movement around the arena.
Yeah, you need to pull back pretty precisely, pretty precise angles on Bogmire, or he'll break off really easily.
I can only thank God we're not running in normal mansion, because a one cycle bog in normal mansion seems like torture.
That was a very clean Bogmire from Lando.
Clean.
Even lacking control, he was still able to get perfect angles. Basically, if the ghost is dragging you, you don't have control, and they're more likely to break off. So you need to make sure your angles are very precise if you don't have control. And to gain back control, you could just hold back on the analog stick in the opposite direction, and then Luigi will make this arc with the vacuum. And that's how you know that you're in control.
Ah, I didn't know about the arc, actually. That's an interesting point.
So if he's leaning backwards with the arc and the airstream, you know you got control.
Very good to know. Let's see how Crazy Ace's Bogmire goes.
I have faith in the world's cleanest Bogmire right here. Starts moving now. Oh, wow. I thought he would move early. He needs to get control. There he goes. Oof.
Yeah. Ooh, rough.
He gained control back. He just didn't capitalize on the good angles once he got it. 360. Let's go.
Oh,
what?
No. I guess he was... Was he too close to the wall?
Ooh!
And he misses a second time. Oh no.
Good thing he's not playing FPS games, dude.
Third time.
He is really struggling right now.
Bogmire throwing him a bone, going back to the same spot.
Yeah, he lucked out there.
Unfortunate for Crazy 8.
Lando's going to be going to Area 3, where he's going to grab his second Mario item, which is Mario's letter, and he's going to take a little trip into the well.
The best IL of the game. Don't at me.
I need to get an IL time submitted for bottom of the well.
It is... Hopeless and we were competitive about it for a couple days, and let me tell you, dude, it is... You'll just get a good time or you won't. I don't know how to tell you. It's a very funny...
What's world record on that IL?
4.63 seconds.
Does it start after this cutscene, or how does that work?
So we use Gab Warp for our ILs, and you can turn which is, for those who don't know, Gad Warp is a very new mod, a practice mod for LM. You can turn some settings off, like the cutscenes, and so if you turn that off, you can get a pretty speedy time for most things, since you don't have to watch cutscenes.
Okay. It looks like Lando's got a really good time so far. He's probably 58, maybe high 57 pace still. Definitely.
Yeah, he's on. Pace is pretty good. Let's see, Crazy 8 here. We just go into the courtyard, just following behind Lando.
I really want to see a Biff punch here. Here's another optional ghost. One of the more fun ghosts because you get to punch him, but I don't know if he's gonna do it. Nope, no Biff punches.
No abuse for Biff. Biff is free to work out as much as he wants.
Yeah, so Lando just did a cool skip there where you shoot the water through the floor, or through the ceiling, and it hits the floor of the, or hits the door above that and puts out the fire, which is pretty cool.
Actually, a pretty important skip because it's timed out just perfectly enough that by the time you get in front of the door, the fire is completely out, because if it isn't completely out, you actually won't be able to open the door. You will simply knock on it.
Yeah. The smoke will reside over the door for a little bit.
Ooh, nice boost switch for Lando there.
Pretty convenient. Let's see if he gets a tech skip here. It doesn't look like the table clock is off enough. Yep. Just slightly not off enough. If he walked back faster, he might have been able to get it if he started pulling on it a little bit earlier, but it was still going to be pretty tough. So now they're about to go to one of the best ghosts in the game, Miss Petunia. She is very easy to catch, but for some reason she likes to break off. I don't know why. She just does.
She's got a deceivingly hard pull.
Pretty clean.
Crazy 8 abuses Biff. He does not.
No Biff abuse. Now this next ghost, Nana, is probably one of the hardest portrait ghosts in the game to do optimally. You have to hit her with 3 yarn balls, and it's not the easiest thing when you're just learning it, but that was super clean. Looks like he just R-pumped the last one.
Lando's a pro, what can we say?
Yeah, Lando's, I think he's ranked 13th on the leaderboard, so he's pretty good. Okay, let's see if he gets a good key drag here. Nice. I mean, he didn't get a lot of distance, but it worked out for him. Crazy 8's struggling to find this other boo.
You know, some bad RNG, but luckily the boo is still to his right. Should be the optimal second place to search.
I actually saw someone get the T-Room tech skip today from left side, and I thought it was really cool.
Oh, nice. That would be pretty interesting, yeah.
If the boo spawns on the left side of the ice room, he actually won't go to the middle of the room, so it's very hard to get that tech skip successfully.
So Lando is starting Astral Hall here, and this is a pretty fun room. There's 2 sets of doubles, and then you can get a triple at the end, which I'm sure he will go. It is a satisfying room to do successfully.
I actually really enjoy that room when I do it right. If I mess it up, I get really upset.
And he gets the triple.
So after this room, they're going to go to one of the more interesting parts of the game that makes no sense whatsoever. Luigi is going to blow up the moon, and for whatever reason, that gives him the ability to walk across rainbows and get a star. I at least want to see one more 360 no-scope, though, in one of these races.
Yeah, those are always very hype. Lando having no problem here, it looks like, in Nana's room.
I think Crazy 8 might have been pumping too much, so he might lose this boo. Yeah.
Oh,
I knew it.
Spoke too soon. The commentator curse.
Yeah. I knew it was going to happen. I could tell, dude. He was pumping like every 4 or 5 HP there for a second.
Target acquired.
And he's back in Nana. That's good for him. If it goes down, you can lose a good bit of time there because he's gonna go to one of the first rooms in the game that you don't really ever need to go back to when the lights are on.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's see if Lando drags the star a little bit. That's one of my favorite strats in the game, and not many people do it. It probably doesn't even save you time, but it's really cool.
It feels like you save time on it, so that's all that really matters, right?
It probably saves you a little bit. Nope, no drag. Feels bad.
Maybe like a second or two. It's negligible. You don't need it to.
It depends on how well you do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, struggling with these double setups a little bit. Yeah. He might have been able to like run and get that, but it would have been tough.
So for that first double in the Astral Hall, there's a very specific angle you need to enter the cutscene at in order to spawn both the Shy Guy and the Gold Ghost at once. And if you don't, you can still recover from it, but it makes it a little hard if you don't spawn it perfectly during the cutscene.
Struggling with the triple, at least he gets the double though. So this is going to be the last room where you can't actually see the ghosts. You have to rely on the shadow and the projector. But they all spawn in the same place, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, if anyone watching is ever thinking about learning to speedrun this game and you're a little intimidated or anything, one of the biggest things that you can do in your early days is memorize where the ghost spawns are, because they never change. If you're going on and you can just kind of memorize where spawns are, you'll be in good position.
Lando's gonna do a tech skip here. Not a tech skip, but I guess there's not really any skip there. He's just gonna grab that and save with the boo and then warp back to the beginning of the mansion, because he's gonna go to back to the rooms from area 1 and get the boos in all those bedrooms and one more portrait ghost that's over there.
So now, something that changes subtly, but that we speedrunners pick up on. So after you catch 15 boos in this game, you have a random chance to start getting different length of text boxes when you capture a boo. You can either get a short one, a medium one, or a long one, and it's completely RNG after you catch your 15th boo. So optimally, you want to get the short text boxes, but sometimes the game says, you know what, here's 3 Van Gore texts, the longest texts in a row. Yoo-hoo!
Yoo!
So, another RNG. Ooh, looks like Lando got Best Twins RNG. There's 5 boxes in the Twins room. They can be in any of the 2. You would ideally want to get the 2 that Lando just got here, because they're closest to the door. But, an RNG moment, once again.
Yeah, so these 2 ghosts, they're not super hard to do by themselves, but there is a higher level strat where you can grab both of them at the same time. And even then, it's not too bad, it's just really hard to set up.
Yeah, it's dependent on where the twins' positions are in those crates, which is out of your control. Ooh, Crazy 8 missing that triple in the projector room. And it looks like that grabber did despawn on him.
Ooh, and losing Twins Boo. That's unfortunate, especially at 2 HP. It's only going to cost him a couple seconds, but that's okay.
Bonking for good luck.
Is Crazy 8 going to go for the skip? Ooh. So you can actually grab that glove basically right after you get the boo by walking into it, and it will skip the animation of him getting the glove and him cheering about it. And then the text will come up when you spawn back into the game, because it actually is saved for some reason. So one more boo.
Getting that Van Gore text, it looked like.
Yeah, so one of the texts you can get is where Egad will start telling you about this mysterious ghost named Van Gore in the mansion, and we will see him way later in the game. Clean text skip.
That is true. Both runners did get projector warp. Pablo is celebrating somewhere, wherever he is. Probably watching the other race with HD and Epiphany, which hopefully we will see everyone else once that race finishes up.
Yep. And so now Lando is about to go talk to Madame Clairvoyant, who will tell you random things about the mansion and Mario and what's going on and the final boss as you give her each Mario item. And this part of the game, you have to spam through about 1.5 minutes of text. It's not fun. It hurts your hands.
Every runner's favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
Now, what will be fun is, since Crazy 8 is on English, we get to see, at least for me, one of my favorite lines in the game, where Clairvoyant proclaims she's merely making drama when she is talking about Mario's hat. We do not get that enjoyment in Japanese, at least I don't, because I don't know how to speak Japanese, but I'm sure there are people who speedrun that do.
I actually didn't know she said anything like that, so...
Oh, yeah, I'll point it out for you. It's pretty funny. She like.
That'd be one of the first things she says, right?
I think the hat is one of the last things you give her. Star and the hat are one of the last two. Oh, Crazy 8!
Really
look
close.
at this. Yeah, look at. Oh, whoa! What is this?
Let's go. You got it.
Whoa! Now that I have not seen before. That was pretty cool. He grabbed the shoe right at 0 HP, and you can see the stream from the booth sucking up.
So, Clairvoyant is actually interesting because she doesn't really have a good pull. She just runs away. So, for whatever reason, the strategy to get her when you're sucking her up is just to hold back and swirl the C stick, which is the other analog stick on the controller. And for whatever reason, that makes her HP go a lot faster.
Yeah, she actually, she wants to be captured. That's why she doesn't have any pull.
I don't think Crazy 8 pulled the cloth off enough. Might struggle here. Unless he goes now. Oh, he
gets it.
I thought it... Okay, I guess that comes off a lot easier.
Yeah, I think as long as you're sucking up the tablecloth after your boo, as long as you don't, like, stop sucking up the cloth, you should be okay. Granted, it has to be off enough for you to continue pulling it, but... So yes.
Lando grabs ice after he completes Madame Clairvoyant and he's going upstairs. It's because you need it for this room, where these ghosts require the ice element before you can catch them. So you'll see he barely grazes that ghost with it. If you hold it out too long, it'll actually lose you time because the ghost health will start ticking down by 5 HP.
So yeah, as I was saying, I'll hopefully be able to point it out, but so Clairvoyant will say, "What's this? This is Mario's hat, and it's just been washed!" And then she gets really self-conscious and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just like to add a little bit of drama into my work."
After ooh, don't drop the boo. No, just finish. So he was trying to open the chest there before finishing off the boo, so he could grab the key and move closer to the door a little bit quicker before getting the boo. Now Lando is actually going to be going to the 3rd area boss, which is one of the hardest bosses in the game as a kid. We make it look real easy in the speedrun.
There it was, that famous line from Clairvoyant. Yeah, so with Bulossus, there is a consistent way to get a 1 cycle, but you need to have a very specific angle in order to get an ice shot off. So basically what you're going to see Lando do is he's going to run straight to the right, run around the statue, and hopefully have a good ice spawn. So as Bulossus pops, he'll grab that Ice Spirit and then walk all the way back. Once he gets to the second statue on the left side, he will shoot an ice ball and hopefully get every single boo.
Let's go. Hopefully the ice is in a good spot for him, because it can go outside of the boundaries, but it is right on the statue, so he lucked out there.
Looks like Crazy 8 got a Van Gore text. Love to see it.
Yoinks. Not a great Bulossus start.
Let's see if he can recover.
He's got 2 more.
He does. Nice.
I'm glad he clutched that out.
Still a 1 cycle. Crazy 8, not forgetting the ice.
Solid. I haven't seen anyone forget ice yet in the tournament. So now they're about to start Area 4, which is a really interesting part of the game, because Area 4, the power is going to go out, and the mansion's kind of freaky going through it when the power's out, but thankfully we are able to maneuver pretty quickly, because there's a mirror in the room that Crazy 8 is in, so you'll see them utilize using that mirror to warp back after they go back to the rooftop.
Yeah, thankfully we get to skip Blackout in this run. It is quite treacherous. I know, Bliss, you have attempted a max % run, and I've done an all gems run, and both of those runs require you to capture ghosts during the Blackout, and it is very scary.
Not fun. Not fun.
Looks like Crazy 8 got some pretty good Boo RNG there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he went all the way to the right like that. See if he's able to clutch this out, because the Boo looks like he's cackling a lot still. Ooh, yeah, he was about to leave the room.
Yeah, he was just about to leave there. He clutched it out, though. Now, I think Lando does do standard Blackout, but I could be mistaken.
I recently switched over to standard. And what we're talking about is some people will switch over to sidestep. You'll see that Crazy 8 just did that now. And people do that for the Blackout because it's easier not to get scared by ghosts when you're in sidestep. Hopefully Crazy 8 will get a clean Bulossus as well. Keep this race a little bit closer. A lot of the time loss that you can hit is in Area 4 because it is one of the harder areas. And a lot of the boos are really hard to get because they're about 150 to 300 HP.
You can always have a better Area 4. Everyone can. It's a very tricky area.
Yeah, that's one of the things for me. It's like I need to just keep my runs going because there's so much time saving Area 4 that I don't even realize it, you know?
Same here, brother. Same here.
Alright, so Crazy 8's got a good ice spawn as well. Let's see if he can clutch out the 1 cycle. Vacuum looks a little high, but it might work. Yeah, he can still get it.
Pretty
Free?
scary.
No, he can get it, I believe. Oh, there's 4 boos. Never mind.
Yeah, and 2 of them are out of bounds. Oh,
Five.
there's 5.
Okay.
There's actually 5.
Wow. I thought he got a lot more than that.
So
You'll
we'll
see
see.
Lando utilize this mirror here to go back and catch Uncle Grimly, the RNG ghost.
Uncle RNG, as some so endearingly call him.
I think world record on longest RNG is about 42, 43 seconds or something like that.
That's what I've heard. Somewhere around there. Somewhere around 40 to 50 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not terrible, about average.
Looks like a 3-cycle Bulossus for Crazy 8. A little unfortunate, but that's Bulossus. They can be pretty annoying. Oh, he's getting a little trolled here by this final Boo.
There you go.
There you go. There he gets it.
Yeah, the last Boo, you have to force it to charge you and then turn with the ice to be able to get it. It's very tricky. Someone in chat saying it's about 48 to 50 for world record on that. That's insane. I would hate to have a 48-second Grimly.
Yeah, that was around what I had heard. You would at that point I feel like I wouldn't even be that mad. It's like I'm just impressed that the game is doing this to me.
Let's see if Lando goes for Breaker Boo. This is one of the boos that a lot of people don't go for. It saves you about 8 seconds if you do it, and it's very hard because he has 200 HP, and if he leaves the room, it's going to be difficult to get him, and he opts not to. He might get it later, actually. You never know. I doubt he will, considering he didn't get it now. It would just be silly to not in a race at least, but some people will do it after they catch Bangor.
A clean stellar double from Lando.
There's a lot of items flying around in the room, though, that can hurt you trying to catch this boo. Looks like he's got it pretty clean, though.
And this boo can be quite the trickster because each of the shelves from those racks is a place that he can hide, and each one gives him a different spawning point in the room, so he can spawn either low or very high, and if he spawns very high, you start risking double cackles, and he can run out on you. He is a slippery little boo.
Slippery little boo. So after completing cellar, Lando's going to go back up to the roof, and you do this a lot in Area 4. You go up and down from the third floor in the basement.
A lot of runners dread this walk during their very good pace runs because it gives you nothing but time to think. And I don't want to think. I just want to play. Let me play, please.
Yeah, I don't mind it too much. It's like a good point for me to collect my thoughts and be like, okay, here's what I'm doing next. Like, I gotta, you know. For me, I think it's a good thing. I like to have that little time.
Yeah, it depends on from runner to runner. I don't mind it too much, but if I'm on really good pace, sometimes it's just like the anxiety gets me.
Yeah, I usually take it as a moment to catch my breath if I'm on a really insane pace, like try to calm myself down. Alright, so now we're going to the Clockwork Soldiers. We'll see if Lando goes for the double or the triple. I doubt it. Maybe the double, but definitely not going to do the triple. It can be a pretty bad run killer if he goes for it and doesn't get it. So he is setting up the double. See if he actually goes for it. And
he's going for it.
Doesn't look too bad. Ooh, that sucks.
Ooh, yeah, that green one. You can see the animation there.
If he would have gotten that 1 HP on the blue one just a little quicker, it would be fine. But that's not going to hurt his time too much. It's probably only like 5 seconds on last. 5-10 seconds.
We'll see how Crazy 8's Grimly is.
But you'll see Crazy 8 switch out a sidestep here as he goes into the room. 2, 3, 4. Not bad. Pretty better than Windows. A lot quicker to just burn these Shy Guys on the roof rather than try to catch them. And then you gotta get 2 more ghosts, and then you can grab the key and go back to the basement. Oh no, not yet.
You still got the Armory, the dreaded Armory Room.
I love Armory. It's actually my favorite room in the game, so.
When you land everything, it is so satisfying, but something like it almost doesn't happen every run for me, at least.
Yeah, so Armory Room is very laggy. It's the second laggiest room in the game. No, the laggiest room in the game, right?
I believe so, yeah. I think Lydia is the second laggiest.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of suits of armor and chests in this room. And there's a lot of ghosts you gotta get. You actually have to hit a triple in this room, and the setup can be tricky. If you do it enough, you can get it, but there are some like small things that can happen. Like if Luigi gets scared, you kind of have to adjust. And
Lando he's going for the YOLO strat.
Interesting. I did not expect this.
Oh wow,
that's hype. He's gonna get it.
Lando is insane. He gets it. Wow. Impressive.
Now I want to do that.
It looks so cool, I will admit. And he gets good RNG.
Ooh, Crazy 8 lost Stellar Boo. That's not good.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was saying before. That Boo can be quite slippery.
This Boo can be a pain too because of the lag of this room. It makes R pumping less rhythmic. Ooh, he double cackled.
Yeah, there were some double cackles there.
Lando really wants this Boo to go back into Armory. If not, he's gonna have to chase it all the way back to Soldiers, and he lucked out there.
Yeah, so what makes Armory Boo so tricky, and what Bliss had explained earlier with R pumping was, so since that Boo has 150 HP exactly, that means it is exactly enough of R pumping that you can do to get it in one cycle. And if you get a single double cackle, that can really jeopardize getting that Boo in one cycle.
Yeah, so if the Boo is too high up, there's a chance that they'll cackle twice, and that'll make it really hard. There's some other factors, like being too far away, that can cause double cackles. But it's one of those things that you just kind of, you get really used to it, and you learn when you're not standing in the right position. For Lando, this room, he has to just get the key in it, and you don't actually have to turn on the lights to do that. So he's not even going to catch the ghosts. He's just going to go straight to the end of the room, grab the key, and walk out. Maybe Crazy 8 will go for double. Does not look like it. The only downside to not clearing this room is that when he gets the Boo in the room south of that, if the Boo goes up and is in the dark, he won't be able to catch it in this room, so he'll have to try to get it to go back down, which is a pretty big time loss if that happens, but hopefully he just won't drop the Boo.
Yes, this is Sir Weston, one of the harder, some people say hardest portrait ghosts in the game.
That's my favorite portrait ghost.
He is fun. Oh, let's see, he's doing pretty good. Lando's doing pretty good. Very clean one cycle. Very clean.
He's probably going to get a few of these pearls, because if the pearls get in the way of him getting the Boo, he will most likely drop the Boo. And the Boo's coming out. That's good. I want to say he's probably around somewhere between like 20 to 30 seconds off of his PB time. Maybe, actually, no, maybe more like 40. Which isn't too bad for a race.
Looks like Crazy 8 had a pretty clean rooftop. Let's see how his armory goes. And Lando is now onto the final portrait ghost of the game, Van Gore.
Go.
Yeah,
so you're gonna
he's
see a different strat from Crazy Ace, most likely on Armory.
Oh, most likely. Lando really went for the yellow strat, and it paid off. He risked it for the biscuit, and he got it.
I wonder how much time that saves. It's probably not too much.
It's actually considerable. It's at least 10 seconds. It's
Really?
quite insane.
Huh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it is a very good strat if you can land it, but it is spicy for sure.
The Boos are kind of, the ghosts are kind of spread out, and he's struggling to get this ghost out of there. He should get the double here, though. Nice. So you basically come to find out that there's this ghost in the mansion who's been putting all these other weak ghosts in the mansion, and that is Vincent Van Gore. And he basically just throws a bunch of ghosts at you before you can catch him.
So there are 3 ghosts for each of these, and you'll ideally want to get triples for all of them.
Crazy 8 R pumps are actually looking really good right now. Should have it. Nice.
Very nice from Crazy 8.
So Lando's coming up on one of the hardest triples in the game, which is the grabber triple. It's not super hard. It's just easy to drop one of them. But he did. Oh, yep, he dropped it.
So that triple is tricky because grabbers are actually the only ghosts in the game where their heart and their hitbox is floating up and down in the middle of their body. So that's usually where the tricky and difficulty comes in from that triple, because they're the one exception.
Super clean trash ghost triple. That's one of the harder ones because there's so much health and they kind of go crazy on you. The lead that Lando has here is pretty considerable. Big difference in time right now.
It's looking like a Lando win, but maybe his King Boo will be a 7 cycle. Who knows?
That would be really bad.
That would be extraordinarily bad for anyone.
Maybe he dies on King Boo. You never know.
You never know.
So this ghost, this Boo might look scary because it has 300 HP, so he will do it in 2 cycles, but that's okay because if this Boo leaves the room, he will always return back to this room. So you can kind of just follow him out in the hallway and he'll go straight back. If you do Breaker Boo has 200 HP, but he's actually, you're able to one-cycle him by dragging him across the room. It is not easy, and that is why he did not go for it, because if he dropped it, he'd lose a good bit of time in this race.
Lando making quick work of that Boo. He's on his way to King Boo now. He's at the end of his run. It's looking like it's looking like what, a low 59 for Lando? Maybe a high 58?
Looking like a mid 58. Which is
a good run for him.
Really, really good run.
Yeah, it's a good run. We'll see how Crazy 8's Weston is. Ooh, he drops him at 8. Can be Weston is a portrait ghost that eludes me because you can have the perfect pumps drop, and you can have the sketchiest pumps and you'll still one cycle it. Sometimes it really confuses me.
He's more about angles, kind of like Bogmire.
It is about the angles.
Yeah, you just need to be careful with your angles on him. He needs to grab those pearls or he's probably going to drop him.
Lando trying to go for the sapphire,
I've seen nobody get that during this tournament, so I might have to give it a whirl.
It's a funny little strat.
Maybe he'll one cycle, dude.
Wouldn't that be nuts?
I feel like Lando hasn't been playing a lot recently, so he probably won't, but it'd be really, really cool to see.
I know he's been doing some runs in the past couple days, but I don't know if he's been doing them too seriously or just kind of getting back into LM, because I know he's not a constant runner of the game, but he definitely is a great player.
Yeah, and if he wins this here, I'm going to be going up against him next, and I'm excited, but I'm worried he's just going to wipe the floor with me, because getting a 58 in a race is pretty impressive, not going to lie. So in this final boss, he's going to shoot these bombs that Bowser throws at you, and then he's going to try to get as much HP as he can. It's going to be around 250. And then he's going to do it in 2 cycles. Drop them a little bit. He might leave around 200. Oh, wow. How was he doing that?
That was interesting.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was really weird. I've never seen King Boo move around like that.
Yeah.
He probably won't go for the 2 cycle. There's really no point. He doesn't have to. And 268 is pretty hard to pull off, but maybe he will. You never know. He already dropped him.
He's going for it.
That was a bad decision. See ya, King Boo. Peace.
Crazy 8 having a little bit of trouble here with his Van Gore triples.
The reason that you would wait to go for... The reason you wouldn't go for the 2 cycle if you don't get enough on the first one is because if Bowser goes below 200 HP and puts his head back on, it'll go on backwards and he's going to run around like a buffoon, which you just saw. And that's it. 58:44.
Pretty good time from Lando. GG.
Yeah, super solid.
Now we'll wrap up with Crazy 8's run as he's finishing up his Van Gore.
Really want to see a King Boo 1 cycle somewhere in this tournament.
Oh, I think we will. I think the players to look out for that would be Pablo, Joven, and HD. I think they have the highest chance of 1 cycling. I did just get a message from Lando. He says, I don't think he'll be able to come for an interview, but we'll wait for Crazy 8 to finish his match. We'll try to get him in.
We'll just pretend that Crazy 8 won then.
No interview, no win!
Well, GG's to Lando. Big congrats to him. 58:44 in a race is super solid.
I wanted to say, I was looking elsewhere, but I wanted to say Zoot Allure when Crazy 8 sucked up Van Gore because that is the last word he says on English.
Our pumps are looking really good on this Boo, but he went up and he's double cackling. He's still got it around 150, so he can 2 cycle it still.
He can still, yeah. He have to drag out 10 or so HP if he wants to do it to save one of his pumps, but we'll see how he reacts and adjusts.
I think he's double cackled already. Probably. I can't tell. Maybe he didn't. He should start walking now. Nice.
Ooh, and he gets it. Just by the grit of his teeth, he does get it.
I feel like most of the times you're going to see, before we get into the, the top 8 or top 4 of the tournament, most of the runs are going to be about 1 hour. Hopefully towards the end, the runs will be, 57, 56 area, which would be really nice to see in a race.
Now, I don't think Crazy 8 will be able to PB with this run. I think his PB is it's a 102 something, I know that. But he'll still be able, if he 2 cycles, to get a pretty good 103, or maybe a 102 even, so pretty good for Crazy 8.
Your PBs, that's good, because if you can do that in a race, you're doing something right.
Exactly, so definitely a good race from Crazy 8. Well, let's not commentate or curse it, but regardless, still a good run for him.
Get to watch the wholesome ending on Lando's side of the screen.
Luigi absolutely thrilled to have his brother back, while Mario, not knowing what the heck is going on, eyes going everywhere. The credits do have funky music, though.
I had not read the King Boo text until now.
Oh, yeah, schlurp and schlorp and all over the place.
He does. Alright, Crazy 8. Crazy 8's got a 1 cycle, dude.
He's got a 1 cycle. That's his only option here.
1 cycle?
If he wants to win the race, he must 1 cycle.
We'll change the challenge result if he 1 cycles.
Yeah, if he 2 cycles, it's looking like a mid 103 for Crazy 8.
What is that? The soft lock you can do on King Boo, where like you get the crown or something. You know what I'm talking about? What is that called?
What, Crown Theft?
Yeah, what is that?
So Crown Theft is actually, you don't even enter the battle at all. You there's a way that you can walk around the pillar in the secret altar and just literally walk straight up to King Boo and touch his crown, because that's how the game registers with you, whether you beat it or not. Just simply collecting the jewel that King Boo's crown has. So it's a very difficult trick. So not a lot of people go for it, and I don't think it's allowed in this category.
Yeah, if it was allowed, I'd like to just go for it.
Yeah, it is tricky.
Going for the 3 cycle. Smart
Crazy 8 going for the quick 3. That first cycle wasn't too good. King Boo was hanging upstairs. You want him to come down. Come down, bro, please.
The way that King Boo like falls out of the head is, he looks like an elderly man falling down the stairs.
Oh, Crazy 8 gets it.
Clean 3 seconds.
104.02.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah, if he had gotten that 2 cycle, it would have been pretty close, but hey man, a 104, still pretty good.
Not bad at all.
GG's to both of our runners.
Are we getting Crazy 8 in the chat?
We will try to get him in here. He's willing for an interview. Should be getting his invite shortly.
So what are our next races? Who's up tomorrow?
That is a good question.
I don't know if there are any tomorrow. I know there's...
It does not look like there are any tomorrow. We have 2 races on Saturday, and then after that we will be progressing to the next round of the tournament, round 3.
Sure are. I definitely need to grind out some more completed runs before round 3, because I need that to build that consistency. Yo, Crazy 8, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, guys?
GG.
Good job.
GG, guys. GG. Thank you for commentating, guys.
Of course, it was our pleasure.
It was a fun race to watch. You're when you grabbed that shoe and got the vacuum arc, I thought that was real cool.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I've never seen that before in my life. Someone did clip it for us.
At that point, you know, I didn't care about winning. I just cared that I did that, you know.
I was almost scared you were gonna soft lock for a second, but I think you'd captured it just before. I don't know how boost soft locking works. I've seen Bliss do it accidentally once.
Soft lock with that. I don't think you can soft lock with that. I know you can do it like in kitchen because I've done it before with that boo, but I don't know exactly what triggers that.
But hey,
Yeah, neither do I. I just do it.
Crazy 8, 104. Pretty good, pretty close to your PB. You played pretty well this race.
There were a lot of places I really just beat myself up on missing, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. And Lando, with you in that armory.
Oh yeah, Lando's armory was absolutely insane. That's the IL strat, and it is so YOLO, but he got it. It's very good.
It was absolutely insane. At that point, I'm like, all right, yeah, he deserves to win, definitely, most certainly. That was prominent, you know, with those clean shy guys. But damn, that armory was beautiful.
Yeah.
You didn't drop any of your area 4 boos though, did you?
I dropped Cellar.
You dropped Cellar?
You did drop Cellar, and then yeah, once you reset Armory, you just got it on your way there because he reset.
Yeah, I mean Cellar boo can be really finicky though, but it's really impressive though that with your time that you didn't drop Weston or Armory. Like that's pretty impressive for you have a 102, right?
Yeah, every run I've done that I've completed, I've golded Weston Split multiple times.
That's hype, dude.
That is a nice feeling. Very nice feeling.
That's the only reason my SOB is going down. It's just Weston Split.
Let's go.
Soon you'll have like a 5-second Weston split, and everything else will be the remainder of your time.
I'm gonna get my Weston Split to 1 second.
I'm trying to think of some things that happened in your run. I know you had lost Nanaboo, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't count how many cackles because it's hard when you have ice. So I didn't know exactly when to start just dragging them out, and then they just switched directions.
Yep. He just completely said, you know what, peace, and leaves.
Yeah, I could tell just from watching the footage. I think there's actually a visual cue for that where you can see him like jolt a little bit.
Yeah, he like faces a different direction, I think.
Yeah, he'll move around a little bit. I saw that too with one of your other boos without the audio, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty confident now that there's a good way to tell. I don't think
Pretty
of anything
good,
else in your run that went really interestingly.
Yeah, had a good Butler segment, from what I could tell.
Yeah, I missed Mousehole, but honestly, it was a very fast Butler from what I've seen. I was very proud of getting the Laundry Boot tech skip
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
on
that was
a race.
insane, dude. Your
You
hidden
know,
room also was super clean.
I was surprised by that, yeah, because they seemed very spread out, and I still had a few bats up above. So I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah. Alrighty, well,
Yeah,
if
unless you have
anybody
anything
has,
else you want to say, start
I
wrapping
just
up.
want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank Bliss and Polar Like for commentating. Thank you very much. Please go follow these guys. They're great runners.
thank you, dude.
You
And
flatter us.
follow Crazy 8 and Lando as well. Both solid Luigi's Mansion runners.
Very good race. GG's all around.
Alrighty, well, I
GG's.
think we're good to end off. Thank you everybody for watching. Our next race will be Saturday with who was it again? It was Splazer. Oh, sorry, yes, Blazer and Azul, and that will be Saturday at 12. So be there for that one.
Yes, definitely.
Alrighty, thank you everybody.
All right. Thank you. See you guys.
Peace. Have a great
Good
night.
night, everyone.